everyone, welcome back to another Melting Monday. Today I'm working on a piece of wood that my husband got for like a couple bucks at the hardware store, cut it into a nice piece for me, and I'm putting some clear wax medium on this board to start out with. I just want a nice couple of layers to start working on. So when I sat down to do this piece today, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I wanted to accomplish or complete, but I had this box of papers that's been sitting around for a while that has scraps of like journal pages, or not journal pages, scrapbook paper that I've used in my journals. And so I thought I wanted to use some of those. So I decided to create a background with these papers, just like I would in my art journal. So we'll see that in a minute. I like to rip paper, so I just have a box of ripped paper. So that's what I'm doing today. So I put down 2 layers of wax, and I need to fuse each layer. So here I'm using my blowtorch to just fuse those couple of layers of wax together so that we have a good surface to work on. I also want the wax to be a little bit warm when I lay down the papers so that the paper will kind of stick to it and not move too much while I'm trying to add other layers of wax on top. All right, I looked through my box of papers and I saw quite a bit of like different blue tones and green tones. So I decided I would go with those blue tones, and I tried to pick papers that would fit in there. So I'm really just taking torn pieces of paper, laying them out just like I would in my art journal with no rhyme or reason, and then just using the wax medium as my adhesive to connect them to the board. And then I do have to fuse in between each layer. Probably safer to use the heat gun while using paper, because you could light the paper on fire if using the blowtorch. But man, I love that blowtorch. It works so much faster than the heat gun. So you'll see that I kind of give up on the heat gun and use the blowtorch even though I have paper down. I didn't light anything on fire, so I felt like it worked okay. Trying to be safe still. All right, putting on a couple more layers of wax on top of those papers to kind of get them into the background. Then I decided that I wanted to use oil pastels to bring out those blues, to kind of push the paper back. So I'm using different colors of blue, just different tones, different hues of blue, and just scribbling them on there. And then I will take a glove and kind of rub them out so that you just kind of get color. It's pretty transparent. You can kind of still see the papers underneath, but you're getting it kind of pushed back, and I am bringing out those blue tones, and I really liked this. And there I am with the blowtorch. I was like, forget it with the heat gun. All right, so that feels good. We'll put on another layer of wax just to keep pushing that paper into the background and not have it be too upfront. All right, then I thought, what can I do with this now? And I still wanted that to be pushed back into the background some more. And so I grabbed an iridescent wax and my iron, and I'm going to melt the wax right onto the iron and then use the iron to apply the wax onto my page. And this gives a very abstract kind of look. I don't have a ton of control as to where the wax goes, but that's something I kind of like about wax, is that it can be very fluid and you have to like let go of some control, which is very difficult for me in a lot of areas in my life. And so I don't know, practicing that with the wax is a little bit therapeutic, and I don't know, maybe I'll be able to apply it to my everyday life someday. Let it go. All right, I've got that iridescent wax on. It's kind of pushed it into the background. I really like it. It's kind of given it a little more of a foggy kind of look, maybe a sky kind of look. I really like it. So I'm going to use the blowtorch again to fuse my layers together. I'm trying to move some of that around a little bit, which is why I'm fusing a little longer, as I'm kind of trying to move it a little bit with the blowtorch. All right, then I have these cute die cuts that I bought at Michael's. They are a couple of flowers here. I wanted to make sure I stuck with those like blue tones. I wanted to keep the whole piece cohesive in that way. So everything I'm putting on has those same blue tones. So I have those flowers, and then I found some butterflies that I really thought were cute. I'm just pressing them into the wax so they'll kind of stick and won't move around when I add another layer of wax over the top of them. When you're laying something like embellishments or anything down, it's good to go use odd numbers. So you'll see I have 5 butterflies there. Odd numbers are just more pleasing to the eye, so it looks better than if you were like 4. And when you use even numbers, your eye kind of tries to make it symmetrical, and it's just not as pleasing. So there's just a tip. All right, I'm putting another layer of hot wax on so that I can get those butterflies adhered to the piece and kind of finish the piece up as well. So I'm putting a couple layers of the hot wax on. Wax on, wax on. All right. I thought I edited out all the little slow parts. What is this? Okay, so fuse again. You gotta fuse every time. It's important. All right. Now I'll flip it around here so you can see. Oh, I forgot I did this. So I decided like I needed a little shadow or a little something more, something a little darker to give it some, I don't know. So I used a black pastel to try to kind of add that. And then I was like, I don't know if I like that I did this or not. I mean, I think it turned out okay in the end. Would I do it again? I don't know. But it is what it is. I did it. Put it around the flower as well. Grunge it up a little bit, I guess. All right. Then fuse that in, because every time you add color or wax, you have to fuse. You only need to get the wax so it's shiny. But as you can see, it started to move, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of fun. And so I actually used the blowtorch to kind of move that black out and disperse it a little bit. And yes, so I like that. Then there is my signature that I put on the inside of one of those napkin layers that we always pull off. I save those, and then I like write my signature on them, and that's how I apply my signature to a wax piece. Because as you can see, the napkin completely disappears into the wax, and all you're left is with my signature. I'll turn it around here so you guys can see it. I might add a quote to this later. I don't know. Sometimes I come back to a piece afterwards, and sometimes I just leave them. But I think it turned out really cute. I'm happy with it, especially since I had no idea what I was going to do when I sat down. I just knew I was going to play with some paper. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!